how our bodies, this right here is a beautiful self-healing machine. When given the right foods, when given the right mindset, we are healing machines. And it's very important that we start to realize our power that we have in that again, because we are not meant to be these broken beings always crying about being sick. We're meant to learn how to heal our bodies. And that's what I help people learn how to do.
Welcome back to another episode of Soul Shift Sessions podcast, where we have deep, transformative conversations to help you transform your mind to transform your life. Listen, guys, if you aren't already following us, please make sure you are liking this podcast. Share this with 3 of your besties and make sure you are following us at Soul Shift Sessions on all social media platforms. I'm your favorite freedom and financial wellness coach, Coach Sapphire Star. And of course, I have with me my favorite co host,
Kyle McCloud.
and we're back with you with another transformative conversation with our special guest, friend of the podcast. And if you haven't already checked out episode 19 of Soul Shift Session with our special guest, please make sure you go and check that out. But welcome back to published author, speaker, and holistic wellness coach, Maria Soprano. Woo!
I love that intro. Thank you, guys. Always great to be back. I think this is like my 4th time back or something like that.
Yes.
I've been on here a while. Third.
That's
Okay.
why I was like, she's the friend of the podcast.
Right.
And you're not
No
even
special
like us
intern
anymore.
here.
Not at all. And I think it's very apropos because today we are talking about when the body speaks, learning to listen versus pushing through. Maria, just give the soul shifters just a little bit about yourself and just to remind them of who you are.
A little bit about myself. So I'm somebody who spent most of my life battling depression, autoimmune disease, body failing them. I'm not going to go into the whole thing again because I did in the last 2 episodes. But my body was literally failing me. I thought my mind was broken. I thought my body was broken. I was stuck in that vicious cycle of pill diagnosis, side effect, pop another pill. And I just finally hit my low point. And I'm like, there's got to be more than this. And there was. Our bodies heal. You know what? I wasn't planning on doing this just yet, but you mentioned that I'm a published author. So this is a book that I channeled, and I know it's huge, but it's big writing. And I just want to read part of it in there, just because what I share is about our ability to heal, how our bodies, this right here is a beautiful self-healing machine. When given the right foods, when given the right mindset, we are healing machines. And it's very important that we start to realize our power that we have in that again, because we are not meant to be these broken beings always crying about being sick. We're meant to learn how to heal our bodies. And that's what I help people learn how to do. So I just wanted to read this one part of it. And this is a channeled book. So this is the part that I am to the reader. It says, let me get in a good position here. You were never meant to search outside yourself for what was planted within you from the very beginning. I did not create you as broken beings needing to earn my favor. I created you as living extensions of myself, capable of healing, of creating, of transforming reality itself. Through the divine frequency that flows through your awareness, you ask, what power did you give us? I gave you me, not a portion, not a shadow, not a diluted version. I gave you the spark, the same spark that birthed stars, the same spark that became form, sound, rhythm, breath, memory, and vision. You do not need to beg to be healed. You need to remember that you are the healer. You do not need to wait for a miracle. You are wired to generate miracles through your alignment. You said, so we don't heal because you choose us. We heal when we remember who we are. And the answer is yes. Healing is not something granted. It is something activated. That's just a little part of the book. So that,
Wow.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we have a lot
That's
of
awesome.
power within us. We have to remember that power, and that's what I help people learn how to do through the foods that we put in our body. These are these beautiful vessels. We want to take care of them with life. And through even our what we put in our mindset is just as powerful as our body, and it's very important. Mind, body, spirit. We got to get the three balanced.
Well said. And I feel like in today's society, we are conditioned and taught to just push through, no matter what you're going through, just push through, fight through, and not necessarily focused on listening to our bodies, listening to ourselves. How do people learn to listen to what their body, this healing vessel, is trying to tell them?
So I teach it through a lot of different ways because one of the things I like to talk about is the neural pathways. When picture a field, we're in a field, it's all overgrown, and now you have trauma and you have your set ways. So it's like you're going through that road over and over again. If when you make a path, the more you go through it, even though there was never a path to begin with, it becomes engraved. You've knocked down all like it's nice now a clear path. That's your trauma path. But now we have to rewire the brain to get to where we can start to listen to it. And I also often teach through meditations, through sleep meditations, because that's when your mind is not fighting you. When your mind is not fighting you, get to reprogram and you start to remember your power. But it starts with when you're doing the mindset work, but also not numbing it. So we're so conditioned to you have a headache, you take a pill. You have a rash, you put something on it. What is the underlying cause? And I'm just going to tell you, I just went back home, East Coast, for 3 weeks, and I was on the plane, red eye. I didn't drink any water. I didn't even get up to pee. It's the first time ever on a flight that I did not ever do anything. I just sat there because I didn't feel like moving.
Yeah.
I landed and I had such a bad headache. Now, I'm somebody who used to religiously have migraines, cluster migraines, maybe half of the month, that bad. But I haven't had one in about 10 years. And immediately I was like, damn, I'm with my family. I don't have time for this. I don't want to be in bed. Who wants this? Is not part of my plan. I don't have time to be sick right now. And I wanted to take I'm going to be honest. I was about to take my 2 Tylenols because I just wanted the headache to stop. I was about to tell my body, shut up. I don't want to hear what you're trying to tell me. Just shut up. And I was taking the pill. And sure enough, my body's like, you're not doing that. You're not shutting me up. And it was like, boop, it got to about here. And it was like, it's not even going down. And I'm so grateful they did that. I started doing magnesium baths. I started putting Celtic salt underneath my tongue. And little by little, I started to feel a little bit better. Then it needed a lot of hydration. I started doing tea. So one of the ways we can do this is by instead of just wanting to, like every time we take a pill or we put an ointment on it, instead of taking care of the problem, it's like us telling our bodies, shut up, we don't want to hear you. And that's our body's way of communicating with us. Everything, dry skin, bags under your eyes, all of these things are just our body's way of communicating with us. It's not a sign of, oh, I'm just getting old. Oh, my parents had it, so I had it. No, it's your body communicating with you. So we need to stop and I'm not a medical professional, I'm not telling you when to take that pill or not, but try to dig a little bit deeper. What's the cause of it? What's your body trying to say to you?
That is very interesting. You mentioned the Celtic salt, and I just heard through the grapevine that it was good to have. But every time I like make my water in the morning, I put some lemon juice in there, fresh lemon juice, and I put like a pinch of Celtic salt in there. Can you speak to like what are the benefits of just that alone and what it does for the body?
Well, your body actually needs the sodium and the magnesium. It needs it to pump the blood. It needs it for so many things. Magnesium is one of the things that we're most deficient in. And we're told that salt is bad for us. Table salt is horrible because table salt is nothing but flavor and it's been stripped away of all its minerals and everything. But when you have Celtic salt, when you have Himalayan sea salt, these things actually benefit your body, gives your body the minerals it needs to function. Your body actually needs the sodium. Kind of ironic, but they tell you if you have high blood pressure, stay away from salt. When you have a heart attack, they pump you with that saline solution.
Yep.
What is that saline solution made of?
Sodium.
Super high dosages of sodium.
Yeah.
So how can it be bad for you if that's what's saving your life when you're having a heart attack? Like common sense. We're told to just believe things blindly because they're medical professional, and nothing against the medical field, but they were taught through a system that is corrupt, unfortunately. And now it's up to us to learn how to save our own bodies.
I like when you said that because that reminds me of a book that I'm currently reading called Metabolical. And it talks about our healthcare system here in America and how it's driven and taught by big pharma, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
but it also focuses on how our current system just really only focuses on the symptoms because everyone wants to feel comfortable, but it really never really focused on getting to the cure or the root cause of your issue. I remember when I was a little girl, I was taking aspirin because I would always have these tension headaches and I just didn't understand why. I just was told, oh, if you have a headache, take this medication. Was not taught anything else. It wasn't
Yeah.
until maybe like a young adult, and I don't know if I heard it or someone said it, but they basically said the lack of this medication, because I used to take Excedrin too, which will tear up your the lining of your stomach. They basically said the lack of taking this medicine is not the reason you're having a headache. So you need to get to the reason why you're having this headache to stop the headaches. And don't you know, I have not in my young adults up till now, 47 years old, I have not. I used to take medications. I used to take aspirin every day. I have not had to take headache medicine because when I get a headache, which is rare now compared to before, I can literally say, "Oh, what's going on? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I hydrated? Do I need to rest?" I literally can go through the things in my head, pinpoint the things, and I promise you I can get to the solution without taking a pill. And obviously, if you listen to your body, you learn your body and how it communicates to you. If you get to a point where you're doing the things, you're checking the boxes, but it still doesn't go away, then that might be
Yeah.
cause for alarm. Like, oh wait, there's something bigger here that I can't necessarily see and address. And then you go where you need to go with it. But I think is, to your point, is just learning to that communication. But just like any other language, is just like, how do I learn this language of love from my body? Like, how do I begin that process?
I have a
It's
question.
so funny every time. Go ahead, you go. You hop in first, Kyle.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, out of all the things that, and this is really to both of you, but out of all the challenges that you've seen Americans have, would you say that, or is it safe to say that rest is probably at the top of the list of things that Americans are missing?
And hydration, rest and hydration.
Rest and
Hmm.
hydration.
Learning healthier ways to deal with stress.
Yeah,
The rest part. Yeah.
yeah. Most of our number one killers like heart disease, diabetes, most of these are preventable diseases and are stress induced.
It's so fun though. Every time I come on here, I forget just how aligned our Sapphire, well, Star, I always call you Star, Star and I are. But that was me, I all teen who nobody thought, why is a 13 years old popping Excedrin and a leave daily? Like,
Right.
why is, what is the cause of that? And that was just normal. So I was just popping it every single day. It was just part of my day. I used to carry the bottle with me, a 13-year-old carrying a bottle with them. Now at 13 years old, we're going through hormonal changes. My body was trying to tell me what it needed.
Yeah.
And I was in a sense saying, shut up. And the same thing's going now with many people that, are our age going through menopausal things. They think that's normal. No, that's your body telling everything. Is your body letting you know what it needs? And you ask, how do you learn? It took me 12 years to learn all that I know. So yeah, you could take your time and go back and forth and try to just like, with me, it was hit and misses. And then it was a lot of programs and a lot of certifications and studying, or you could take the shortcut. I call it the Cliff Note version and get yourself somebody who's been through it, who can help you and guide you through it. That's why I do what I do. That's why I create the programs. I have an online program that's about to launch on Monday. And then I have another, well, by the time this airs, we're going to have a second one that's going to be coming out in March, I'm going to do a 2-day workshop where I will give you a lot of information that alone for those 2 days, you will have a really, really good starting point. We just did one 2 weeks ago, and I hope people learn how to listen to their bodies, how to understand what's happening. It's not something that I could just say, hey, you're going to do this, this, and that. There's a lot to it. It's not just it's not easy, but it's something that everybody can do. And it's not something that we're all meant to do. We're all capable of doing. You just have to learn like anything else.
When you went to the East Coast, and I'm asking this question because being from New Jersey, I know you were from New York. Whenever I go up there, I feel like as soon as I cross the border from Pennsylvania into New Jersey, it's like there's this energy, like this hustling energy, high stress, high tension. And it's like I can feel it in the car. Do you experience that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's just so funny because I'm just like, do you guys not have a slower pace? And that used to be me. Everything is, you've got to get it done. You've got to rush. How much can you fit in? And there is no enjoyment. There is none. It's all about the hustle. And even when I go back home, it's so funny because my family's now, I'm going to say trained, but they know I'm awake, but do not come near that door. I'm doing my meditation. I'm doing my affirmations. Sometimes it will take me 2 hours before I open up that door, but I don't open up that door until my mindset is in a good enough place that I can deal with all that chaos and stress that's in the house. But I'm not even going to pretend that I don't get caught up in it. Sometimes I have to reset multiple times a day because it's a lot of fast paced energy. It really is.
I find that even. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was getting ready to say, I didn't realize the hustle and bustle culture of just living in America. Obviously, we have regions that are more intense than others, but I didn't realize how intense it was until I moved to Hawaii for the first time. And when I got to Hawaii, obviously, I'm still operating in this go, 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 because in my mind, this is normal.
Mhm.
And it was like when I landed on Oahu, first of all, like you speaking to what you said, Kyle, there was this energy that came over me. Like it was like a calmness. And this is before I even get into and on the island. This is just like the plane landing. It's like, ooh. And I was like, okay. But I'm still like, go, 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 go. And literally, I'm at the airport. I'm waiting for my taxi. I'm rushing, just getting upset. And the guy, he was a local. He was like, it's okay. You can slow down. I was like, what do you mean slow down? I was not going fast. But it was instances like meeting him and just living in the town I was living in. I was like, oh, that is not normal. But it's having to be put in a different environment where you see people are thriving and living, and you're like, oh wow, you're exposed to something else. But if you don't have that, like, how do you even know whether you're on 10 all the time or not, if this is what the normal standard has been set to?
I don't know what your experience was in regards to this when you went to Hawaii. I've been there once and I felt like I was in a time warp because everything seemed so much older just from like the layout of the land. Like they were stuck back in time. And I think that contributes to what you're saying in regards to people just being slower. And everyone's not in a rush to do the latest and greatest thing.
Yeah, I think that's island life just in general too. Like any island, if you go in the Caribbean, a lot of times it's everybody take your time. It's good. It's no rush. Time is man-made thing. I even loved when I was in Spain. And I remember after I did the Camino de Santiago, I walked 173 miles in 2 weeks. And I was looking for something to eat once I arrived in Santiago de Compostela in Spain. And literally the restaurants, it was like, oh, they're closed. It was like this. It was maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock. But from like 1 to 2 to like 5, these restaurants, these businesses, they closed down. and they don't come back up again until dinner time or evening. It's like culturally, we take time to rest. We're not going 24/7 like Walmart or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like places are closed. You take your time, you take your breaks.
It's so true. So I'm in North County, San Diego, and I think we've really adapted a lot of that. Like this house, we all take a siesta. It's midday, siesta time. That is just a normal part of life. It's like when I go to the dentist office, it's like I'm at the dentist and I hear the guy who's working there like, the waves are great. I'm gonna head out early because I want to catch them. And it's like, oh yeah, of course. It's normal. It's normal to be able to say, hey, there's an awesome sunset. I'm gonna go catch it now. I'll be back later. Like we enjoy life out here. And not surprisingly, we live right by the Blue Zone. I forgot what it's called. The town. It's about an hour north of me, maybe 45 minutes.
Is it Laura?
Starts with an L.
Yeah, Laura Linda.
Little,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Their 7-day Adventist community.
Yes. So some of the things that people, if you follow any of the Blue Zones, if you haven't seen it on Netflix, Down to Earth is one of them. The Blue Zone is another one. They study communities of people that all live to be 100 and above. And it's entire communities of people living this old. So they start to study them. And if you look at them, it's all the same exact equation. Plant-based lifestyle, community, having a sense of purpose, activity outdoors. It could be gardening. It could be washing your clothes by hand outside. Like these people just, as long as they're outside doing things, and it's just like being one with each other, enjoying each other. They're very simple things that people do that in America, especially, we have lost and we think that that's normal. But like Star was saying, when you travel outside of the country, you realize this is not normal at all. It's not. It's not normal at all. And I'm so grateful that, what happened. I can't think of it. It starts with an L. If anybody wants to research it.
Look it up.
There's
Why are you talking?
Yeah, little something, I don't know. But anyway, we're right by this. So we started to really take on a lot of what the Blue Zone does. And we are so much happier. We all work in collaboration. We're at peace. It's none of that fighting energy. It's your whole body just feels so much safe. That's the word. You feel safe again. It's a really good feeling.
It is Loma Linda. We were Loma Linda, Lulu something. Loma Linda.
Yes.
And actually the largest populations of centurions, and is a huge blue zone, is in Okinawa. And like I said, but they all, when they studied the blue zones in around the world, like you said, there's a common equation.
Yeah.
And if you read,
it's a very common equation.
Yeah, if you read the book, and that's how I started really getting into the blue zones and studying them. And that's why I predominantly have a plant-based lifestyle, not adopted it, reading the book called The Ikigai. And the
I haven't read that.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It talks about longevity, but what fuels that? And this essentially having a sense of purpose. When you wake up in the morning, what drives you? What are the thoughts that you're thinking when you wake up in the morning? When you go to sleep at night, what are you motivated about to get you going? And that is part of the formula as well. Having a sense of purpose, having community, people that live the way you live. And, our food, let thy food be thy medicine. We've gotten so far away from that.
I'm meant to eat life.
I think it's very important that we get back to that.
It's interesting that you mentioned about the food, because I know that from what I hear, that even the quality of our fresh food is not even as good as it was before. Now, obviously, it's like, if that's what you got, that's what you got. But I went to Miami, and there's like a husband and wife couple that was growing like star fruit in their yard. And I hadn't even seen star fruit this big before. And it just goes to the point where not only do you have to let your food heal thyself, as you said, Coach Star, but also I think we have to get to a place where we are just growing our own food as well. Because no one's going to grow it the way you grow it yourself.
And you know something else I learned, because that is like a vision of mine. I would love to like buy land and homestead. I saw an example of it when I visit the island of Dominica. People literally living off the land. Also in Hawaii, people living off grid is what they call it, and living off the
Mhm.
land. And it's what I learned that was kind of fascinating was that they're now genetically modifying the seeds. It's
Yeah.
getting to that. So even when you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy some seeds and grow some. And, and I and now I play the devil advocate. You know, there's like what 7 billion people on Earth. There's a lot of people here. And
Mhm.
even in America, I forget how many people here in America. But you know, we run the risk of, you know, with population growth, of running out of food, right? And being able to feed people. And I think that's maybe where the thought process came from, like, oh, how do we make food? But I believe we have to, and then the book Metabolical, and I think his name Dr. Lurie, is like, we have to figure out, even if we're creating processed foods, we have to figure out a way to retain the nutrients or keep the things that fuels our gut, that fuels our liver, and keep them
Yeah.
thriving and sustainable. And I don't know what the answer is to that, but we have to find a way to prioritize that and figure that out.
One of the things that I do, and I'm always like suggesting that people follow, is when you do get the organic, like if you go to a farm and you get those organic fruits and vegetables and they have seeds,
Keep them.
save your
Save
seeds.
those seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You clean them, you dry them out, and put them in a jar. Save your seeds, everybody. They're messing with our food, and I don't want to. We don't want to go into the whole, but
Yeah.
they're messing with our food. It's known now. It's not it's a conspiracy theory. No, it's very, very known that they're messing with our food. And if they're doing that, the only thing you can do is try to take control of it. Because the truth is, yes, everything is going to have your toxins, everything's going to have poison. But that doesn't mean you give up. You try to limit how much of that toxin comes in you. You try to do the best that you can with the stuff that like perfumes on your body. Like they have carcinogenic, and our skin, I don't know if you know this, but our skin is like little mouths. It's millions of little mouths. You're literally feeding it carcinogenics. And then it's like, well, I just got cancer. Same thing with deodorant. Like all these different things. You can't take care of everything, but try as much as you can just to get back to natural. All the new modern days, that's how I decide. Did they have it 100 years ago? If they didn't, then I'm not going to use it. Like putting deodorants that have, aluminum in there. Then women have breast cancer.
Yeah.
This is our lymph nodes. You're putting aluminum in your lymph nodes, which is where we store, all of our disease. That's where disease is stored. So there's a lot of little things that you can do. Yes, there's always going to be toxins. No, you cannot get it all, but you can do the best that you can. And saving seeds when you find, like if you go to a farmer's market, talk to the locals. And that's the other thing is when we say organic, but organic became a label. It really did. So if you go to your local farmer, ask them, what do you put on your, they will tell you, hey, we don't use any chemicals on here, but we're not going to pay all this money we don't have the money to pay for the title. You buy from them, buy from your local farmers that are over here trying to survive. That's what I do. That's my answer to that.
Well
Uh,
said.
Is in when you mentioned perfume, I was like, wait a minute.
I knew that.
Sorry.
I knew when she said perfume, he was
Sorry.
like, oh, hold on. You are now on my streets. You are
I'm
now
just
on
like, Maria, please, like, Jesus,
Sorry.
now
Yeah.
this is gonna take me down a rabbit hole. And I just got on my whole finding my signature scent journey, and now it's like, well, if nothing else, it's gonna save me some money. Thank you, Maria.
Hey, so if
Honestly,
there was a bubble,
I
you
loved
just
it.
took a needle to it. It was like,
It's what I do. It's what I do, Girth Bubbles.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
Thank
I
Appreciate that.
loved it too. I had my signature scents and I love it and I still have it in here. And it's like, it smells so pretty. It really
Yeah.
does. But do I really want to smell? And I still smell pretty. Right now, there's a local place that I get and they have like all natural essential oils. And they made this lavender one. I'm not lavender or
Mm.
vanilla. And it's so soft and warm. And I just put it on, and my skin, first of all, if you can feel me right now, I am so soft, like super, super baby soft. But anybody who hugs me is like, "Oh my God, you smell so good." Like, and it's just something so natural. And it's stuff that heals the body because it's essential oils that are good for the body. So there's many ways around it. Again, it's like you're not going to get it all,
Yeah.
but starting a little bit at a time. Like that's another thing that I'm doing next month is I'm doing more workshops because when I went back east and I realized just how many people don't know this, that aluminum in your armpits is going to cause cancer, that putting spraying perfumes on your body. So I don't think it's fair to bring the awareness to things without having the answer and the solution to things. So I'm starting to bring in a lot more, like for instance, now the essential oils that I use, you'll be able to get them on my website as well. And I'm not selling you anything. It's not that I'm making money off it. I just want to give you a solution because I don't want to bring awareness to, hey, this is going to do this. And then be like, well, good luck. Have fun figuring it out. I want to give you the solution and help you along the way as well.
What does it feel like when your body feels supported? Can you describe that for us?
Like it can breathe.
Mm.
Like it's like you
Mhm.
can breathe in your body again. One of the things that I hear a lot of when I talk about how like dairy causes inflammation, and sorry if anybody who still eats it, or I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'll hear people say, but I feel great. I feel good. You feel good as you think you can until you try it without. And then your body feels like a lightness in it. It feels like it's so supported. It feels calmer. You feel calmer in your skin is the way I could say it. I know, sorry, you do plant-based as well.
Okay.
Is that a good way to describe it? It's like
Absolutely. And I feel like I'm honoring or making an effort, I should say, to honor the sacred vessel that houses my spirit, that houses my soul. And when I think of it that way, the essence of life, the chi that runs through our bloods and runs through and just our heart and everything that's happening in our body just for us to be alive. It just makes me feel just empowered. It makes me feel like you say I can breathe, but it just makes me feel that I'm just honoring myself and my body in such a way that I can. And then when we talk about outside purpose, because not just for ourselves, but who are we living for? The people that depend on us, that rely on us, that needs us to show up for them. So I'm not only honoring myself, but when I honor myself, I'm honoring the people that I support and that can count on me. And that makes me feel, it makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel like a goddess. And it feeds into that
yeah.
that ikigai, that sense of purpose, because I set a goal for myself. I said I want to live to 100. And
Mhm.
so, but I didn't know what that meant. And God started feeding me information. It was like, oh, you have to change the way you eat. You have to change the way you live. And it's just bits of information being downloaded. But it's like once you learn something, it's like, oh, well, you know better. You make an effort to do better.
I had no intention of going because I don't wanna try to convince people to go plant-based if they're not ready for it. I'm not here to judge you. There's no judgment at all. But because of what you said, I'm not gonna read it, but in this book, there's a part of it that I am speaks on how when we pretend we don't know what's happening to our food, when we pretend that it's like we shut something down. We have to pretend that we're not aware of what's happening. And every time you disconnect, when you have food, it's supposed to be communion. You're supposed to
Mhm.
connect with your food. It was always a form of communion, of gathering, of love, of nurturing your body with plants that replenish your body, herbs that heal your body. That was what food was supposed to be. We went through a period of scarcity, and then people started eating animals, and they started to think that that was the new norm. But now, especially with what happens to our food source, every time we have to pretend we don't know what's happening, on a subconscious level, we know. That very disconnect, you disconnect from source because you gotta like turn a blind eye to pretend that you are not aware of what's happening, pain, suffering, just all different things. and you're disconnecting yourself from source, and that disconnect forms dis-ease. Because when you're disconnected from source, that's where dis-ease comes from. As I read from the book, we're meant to heal our bodies. We have the power within us to heal ourselves. But when we're disconnected from the very source, from our very source, and people who are religious are probably like, no, I'm connected to God. Yes, I'm not even testing your faith. It's not about that. But you have to pretend that you're not aware of what's happening to the food that is meant to be your communion, your life source. It's supposed to bring life within you, not trauma that we're energy. What do you think happens to that energy? If you're eating energy that's traumatized, if you're eating energy that's been crying, energy, that's a scientific fact at this point.
Yeah, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's transferred.
Exactly.
That's the law of thermodynamics. That's a scientist coming out.
There you go.
I have a question for you. How can listeners honor their bodies today, even if it's in a small way?
How there's so many different things I don't know how to say. How can they honor their body? Like, well, just
Something small,
Look,
something simple. Keep it super
start
simple.
What can I
listening
do
to it.
today? What
Stop
can I do
thinking.
today?
What was that?
What can I do today that I may not
Today,
have done yesterday?
do a body check-in, a full body check-in. Like if you just close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and just be aware of your body. What's it saying to you? No judgment. You don't. Oh, I gotta change this. Or no, just what is your body saying to you today? Is it saying, I need more rest? I need more love. I need more nourishment. What is your body saying to you today? Listen to it. If you take, like, we're so afraid to be still because our mind is overactive. And what do we get? What's going to pop up there?
Wow.
But in that stillness is your answer. In that stillness is your connection to source. That's where you find it. So it doesn't matter if your mind wanders a million times, but what you can do today is just be still enough and ask your body, what do you need today? It will speak to you.
I love that.
Well said. I love it. Maria, we are now at my favorite part of Soul Shift Sessions podcast, and that's our rapid fire round. And I believe you've been on every season of Soul Shift Sessions. So we're in season 3, believe it or not. And you were a guest in season 1, season 2, now season 3. And
Wow.
our questions have changed. And so
Okay.
So we're gonna, you know how this goes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump
Let's
into
see.
it. Yes. What's one word that describes you today?
Flourish.
Ooh, Ashe.
Okay.
That's my year. That's my word of the year.
Yes.
Flourish.
I love it. What's one book you think everyone should read at least once?
The Surrender Experiment
Ooh,
by Michael Singer.
I think you told us about that before. Okay.
Yes, you did.
I
I
tell
actually started
that
that
I
book.
remember writing it down. Yeah.
The Surrender Experiment, it teaches you to stop trying to always figure it out and just surrender to life because it's got your back all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that answer. What do you hope people feel after being in your presence?
Inspired, empowered, and remembering their wholeness.
I love that. I love that. All right. If your soul could leave a sticky note on the mirror for you every morning, what would it say?
You got this, girl. Stop worrying. You got this.
Short,
that.
simple, sweet. I love it. I love it. Maria, what do you have coming up? Just remind people. I know you talked about your coaching sessions that is coming up. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you have coming up and how the people can connect and reach out to you?
So what I'm starting to do is some online programs. They're going to be small, intimate programs. I have one that's going to be coming out in March. And in these programs, we build a sense of community. We met because we're a tribe. I want that same thing for people who are trying to get their bodies back to whole. So this is for people who want to feel calmer in their body and clearer in their mind, where they want to understand their body, learn how to listen to their bodies, and to feel like yourself again, supported, steady, calm in your body. This is for people who are ready to start listening to their bodies, to know their bodies inside and out, who want something. They know that their body needs change, but they just don't know where to start. And who are ready to slow down, to feel again, to feel whole again, to feel alive again. So I have these online groups coming out. The one in March, I think, is going to be an 8-week one. Rise and Thrive is that one. Ooh, I can't
Ooh,
wait.
I
We're going to
love
be doing some
that. Rise and
subconscious work.
thrive.
Yeah, Rise and Thrive. The first one that I'm having out is Remember and Reset. And then we've got Rise and Thrive. You could take them together. You could take them apart and go back for the other one if you want more, which you will, because they are incredible. The transformations that I'm having, I had a retreat in September, and I got to see in real time, like real time for the first time. I bring everything that I learned, not just the foods, but the food, the subconscious healing, the mindset, all of it together. And I got to watch people go, oh, I had a breakthrough.
Yeah.
I know why I'm doing this. I know why I can't stick to things. To see that, and now it's months later. What is it, 5 months later? And they're still having transformation. They're still having breakthrough upon breakthrough. That is what my online groups are going to be bringing. So I'm going to be having these online courses, community support. We build a team. You get to bounce things off of each other, encourage each other, inspire each other, and you will find your own tribe in these little groups, which is something that's so important. That's how I know Kyle and Star, like, we're a tribe now.
Yes, we are.
It's nice to have that journey, but you could actually just go to any of my social media, Karma Free Living. I always forget the G because I'm from New York, but there's a G at the end.
Spell that for the people to make sure they got it.
KARMA, free, FREE, and living with a G, LIVING. And my website is karmafreeliving.life. So you can head up on my website, see anything. I have a lot of workshops coming up. I'm trying, this year is my year of giving back. I just want to really help people, support people. So I have a lot of free workshops, a lot of in-person workshops here in San Diego. I just really want to help people learn what that book said. We're meant to heal.
Thank you.
We're meant to.
Thank you so much for blessing us as well as our soul shifters. We love having you on and being a friend of the podcast. Listeners, soul shifters, if you know someone that can use a soul shift and that will be inspired by the conversation today, please make sure you share this podcast. If you would love to be a guest and join the conversation, you can go to www.soulshift.sessions.com and click be a guest, or just join the tribe to stay updated with what Coach Sapphire Star and Coach Kyle McCloud has going on. Coach Kyle, any final words for the soul shifters?
Try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud.
I like that.
Well said. Well said. And with that, guys, always remember to let your soul glow. Until next time.
So long, everyone.